Hello, I am Tara from livingonadime.com, along with my mom Jill here. Today we are talking out of our How to Save on Groceries e-course. This e-course is one of our better books, I don't know, we think, because it helps you save on groceries aside from the recipes. So we help you with the grocery shopping and getting your house organized, like your kitchen organized with your meal plans and that kind of thing, which I'm not really a big meal planner, which is kind of interesting. And we're going to do a little podcast on that later. But right now we're talking about how to save on groceries before you leave home. And one of the ways you can save groceries is by better planning. People just throw away a lot of food. And we're going to talk about this more in another one. We're going to lightly touch on this here, but the average family throws away about 50% of their food.
And you know, we've been teaching this for almost 20 years now. We keep saying, and people find it hard to believe that they throw away 50%. But just last week I saw on the news they had a big, huge thing. They've done this huge study, and guess what they discovered? That most families throw away 50% of their food. And I thought we were telling people this for free. They didn't have to have a study to do this, but it really is true. The way you can find this out, and like Tara said, we'll go into more detail on this later, but you just sit down for 2 days and monitor the food that you fix every day, and you watch how many bowls of half full cereal get tossed out, how many glasses of juice or coffee get thrown down the drain, and you just take a quick look and watch for a couple of days and you'll find that out. So. Well,
and one thing with kids, people say, oh, it's my kid's fault. Actually, no, parents, it's your fault. Stop giving your kids so much food on their plate. With my kids, when they're under about 6 years old, 5 to 6, somewhere around there, I give them 1 tablespoon of everything that's served for dinner on their plate. They have to eat it all. When they eat it all, then they can get refills on whatever they want. After 6 years old, then we go to 2 to 3 tablespoons, depending on how big the kid is or how hungry they are. But if you see your kids are constantly leaving food on the plate, stop giving them so much food.
If they don't eat that whole sandwich, they're not a picky eater. They're giving them too much. Just cut that sandwich in half. Yeah. Give them a half a sandwich.
And in our house, if they are too full to eat for dinner because they know mom, they say, oh, I'm just so full. Mom knows. 30, not even 30 minutes, 10 minutes later, can I have a cookie? If they don't eat their dinner, they don't get anything else for dinner. Or for dessert afterwards. No, or nothing. No snacks, nothing. I know I'm a mean and cruel mom, but let me tell you, if they're too full to eat their dinner, they're too full to have a snack before bed, they can wait for breakfast the next morning. So stop giving your kids so much food. If they don't eat it, don't let them keep snacking, guys. You're the parent. You don't need to keep letting them snack. Only fill the kids' glasses half full of juice or drinks. Now, we don't even allow our kids to drink juice or milk in our house. They don't drink it.
Milk and juice is used for nutritional, if we need something nutritional to add to the meal. But most people use milk and juice to drink to quench a thirst. Let them quench their thirst with water, and then use the juice for like a nutritional thing for breakfast or something like that. Yeah.
So our kids get water all the time. I don't allow juice. I don't allow milk. Never, ever, ever did my kids carry around a sippy cup full of that stuff. If they needed a drink, they got a drink of water. If we were going on longer in the car or something, I would fill their cup with water. And there's another thing that goes along with this was you don't have all those big messes all over the place.
I was going to say, don't have your kids graze all the time. Yeah. Have a snack time and keep it like at the kitchen table or something as much as you can. Now in the evening, sometimes if you have a family room and they want a snack, but this grazing and carrying food all through the house causes a lot of different problems,
All right, next, when you're cooking, pre-cook for the next meal. Now, there are people who say, well, I don't like leftovers. You're not making leftovers. You're making the next meal. And restaurants do this all the time, guys, and you just don't know it. And you go and pay $20-$30 for dinner that's left over from the day before.
Well, what happens is the minute you say leftovers, if you had say mashed potatoes and a roast the night before, what you envision in your mind that you're going to have that leftover warmed up gooky mashed potato and that warmed up chunk of roast beef the next day. That's not the leftovers we're talking about. We're talking about taking that food and making it into a totally different meal. Mm-hmm. Take that roast beef and shred it up and have barbecue sandwiches the next day. Take those mashed potatoes and make them into potato patties and fry them up. Your family won't even know they're eating the leftovers. They really won't. And so we have another whole section that we'll be doing probably on this type of thing, how you can use your leftovers and do them in a full meal. And that's where people get stumped. They think it's just that warmed up dead cup of vegetables that they had. No, you take that cup of vegetables and you throw it in the freezer, and then you'll use it for vegetable soup at another time.
So how does this work in real life? So let's say I go to the store and get a rotisserie chicken. Rotisserie chickens are one of those things where it is as cheap to buy the already pre-cooked chicken as it is to get your own chicken and cook it at home. So, I do both, just depending on what, but rotisserie chicken is around $5 to $6. That will feed my family for 3 to 4 meals. We'll make the roast chicken the first night with mashed potatoes and maybe some fruit and some biscuits. Or you can do toast. My grandma, every single meal, she just put toast on the table and everybody liked it and it was easy, So don't make it complicated. The second night, we will make something like chicken and noodles, like a thicker chicken noodles, not like a soup. The third night, we will boil the bones, and then we'll have green chili or chicken noodle soup with the leftover chicken that came off the bones.
Chicken and dumplings.
Anything like that. So that's how that works for practically when we're cooking in the kitchen. All right. Next, check your fridge before you go to the grocery store. So a lot of people rebuy stuff they already have. It's kind of funny.
And I think we've got we'll talk too more on this, but I clean out my refrigerator the night before while I'm checking it. And that way I know it's a clear view if I get anything I do have to get rid of, or, the refrigerator's clean and empty for when I get the new groceries. But then I can see, okay, I've got like 12 packages of cheese in there. How did I do that? So I know not to get cheese when I go tomorrow to the grocery store. Or, oh dear, I'm out of ketchup. So I know to buy ketchup the next day. And it really helps you to be able to see clearly. And then you're not at the grocery store floundering and buying stuff that you don't need. And then you get home and think, oh dear, I didn't get this. So you make another trip to the grocery store. And then you don't just buy that one thing. You spend more money. So it just...
Well, and like with me, we have teenagers, and so they're driving, and they'll go to the grocery store and they'll buy stuff, and I don't know it, and I'll go to the grocery store and I'll think, oh, I'm out of yogurt or whatever, and then I come home and my teenagers bought it, but I didn't look in the fridge before I left. I just assumed. Or the same with husbands, that kind of thing. The other thing is planning your meals before you go to the grocery store. Now, I don't really plan meals. I'm a 10 minutes before dinner kind of a girl, which drives everybody crazy. But we get fed and we get fed good food. Here's the thing. Mom and Mom did more meal planning, but I mostly did things like keep a list of our 10 favorite meals for summer, 10 favorite meals for winter, give or take. They kind of interchange a little bit, but I just cook. Most families just like the same 10 things. So for us, I keep all of those items in the pantry. So when I go grocery shopping, I'm not grocery shopping for my meal plan. I'm grocery shopping to refill my fridge, freezer, and pantry. And you don't hear a lot of people addressing that comment. Or, how do I say that? Anyway, addressing that way to do it. That issue, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. They're always pushing the meal planning to save money. I don't think that saves money.
If your pantry and your refrigerator and freezer stay well stocked, not overly necessarily, but just reasonably stocked, you can make a meal very easily out of what's in a normal pantry, refrigerator, and freezer.
Yeah.
If you keep the things that you like and you use on a regular basis, you can do a meal quite easily.
Yeah, and one of the reasons why I don't like the meal planning is because I never know if I'm going to be... I have chronic fatigue syndrome and fibromyalgia, for those of you who don't know. And I never know if I'm going to be feeling good one day or not feeling good one day. And you would think that meal planning would help me with that. But in reality, for me, it stresses me out. Because what happens is, let's say I have planned chicken fried steak. Now, to me, that's a complicated meal. And I cook that like twice a year because to me, it's just too much time in the kitchen. But let's just say I had chicken fried steak planned. Okay, I have it planned for Thursday. I'm not feeling well. I really don't feel like cooking it. But it's the end of the week and I've already used my groceries for all the other easy meals that I've planned. So I am more of a just let's see what we need to use up in the refrigerator. Let's see what I need to use up in the freezer. And that's how I go about it.
Well, I do the same thing because my life was so, I never knew from one day or the next. You know, I would have this beautiful meal planned out. And then, oh dear, I'm on my way to the emergency room with the kids for something. So my day would get so mixed up all the time, not just with emergency room things, but I never knew what I was going to be doing the next day. I didn't have a regular 8 to 5. I go to work at 8 and I come home at 5 schedule. It was never like that. So I had to kind of fly by the seat of my pants. Am I going to be able to do a harder meal today? Or do I need something really quick and easy? So I would just keep a list of a little bit harder meals and easy meals, and then I would just pick and choose because my pantry and fridge and freezer was full. I could pick and choose off the menu like that.
Well, and I will say, like, the harder meals for us are like special occasions, like Mike's birthday. Mike gets chicken fried steak for Father's Day and his birthday. But, you know, it's to the point now where I spend about 15, 20 minutes in the kitchen. That's it.
Well, when we talk about harder meal, too, I don't think we even pay more. No. We don't even do 30 minutes for most of our harder meals. Even, so.
Now, for one of those, the next thing that kind of goes with your pantry and restocking is when you go to the grocery store, check. I was shocked. I didn't realize people don't do this. Check your ads.
Oh, yeah. I thought everybody checked their ads.
Nobody checks ads anymore.
Oh, my goodness, yeah.
And
I shop from my ads. I don't shop from a list that I have written down. I shop from my ads.
Yeah.
And then I know what I'm going to be eating for the next week.
Yeah, and that's what I do, too.
I don't plan a menu and then look at the ads, or I don't plan a menu and go to the grocery. Yep. I shop from the ads, and I make, if I do, I don't really make a menu out, but if I see they have chicken on sale, then in my mind, I know I'm going to have a couple of chicken meals that week.
And for me, how I shop from the ads is I buy what's on sale to restock my pantry.
Yes, exactly.
So, like last week, they had chicken on sale for $1.77 a pound. Guess what I stocked up on my fridge? Now, I'm not going to need to buy chicken for 3 or 4 months because I got it at a super low price. This week, they have roasts on sale. So I'm going to go buy roast. And usually what happens with me is I've noticed for me, my grocery ads every week or 2 weeks, a different meat will go on sale. So what I will do is I will spend 3 to 4 or 5 weeks, somewhere around there, 3 to 5 weeks, stocking up on my meats. Then I don't buy meat for like 3 or 4 months.
But that's a perfect example of when we keep talking about making sure your pantry, freezer, and fridge are stocked up, and then, you know, you do it from the ads.
Yeah.
You stock it from the ads.
And Heidi, my assistant, uses the Flip app. So if you guys, you know, like apps, you can use the Flip app. It's really good. So what do? We stock our pantry and then we use our Dining on a Dime cookbook. You can get the link in the description below. We've got over 1,200 recipes and tips in our Dining on a Dime cookbook, guys. So what we do is when I find the chicken on sale, then I go home and I see, okay, Dining on a Dime has maple glazed chicken. Dining on a Dime has green chili, which you can use chicken. Dining on a Dime has chicken and noodles. So I just go in and look and see what we feel like eating. And then I cook.
And if you don't know where to start on this stocking of the pantry, in Dining on a Dime, we do have a pantry list of basics to keep in your pantry. And we have don't we have a freezer list too? And so it's really easy. You just need to open up the book, and there's a list of things that the average person likes to keep in their pantry.
So that brings up a good point. Let's start at the beginning. So let's say someone says, well, you keep talking about stocking up your pantry. And guys, I'll be perfectly frank. I have at least a year's worth of food between my canned goods, my freezer, and my fridge, just from stocking up on things. And I do that partly as a prepping kind of thing. I'm not a huge prepper, but you know, guys, we've been through floods, we've been through tornadoes, we've been through blizzards, ice storms,
power, and
we've had weeks and weeks without 2 weeks without electricity, and so we know it can always happen. But how if someone, let's say, they have absolutely nothing in their house. Their refrigerator is empty. They've got $40 to spend this week on groceries. How in the world are they supposed to stock up on groceries?
Well, of course, it depends on what they eat for food.
Yeah, and how many people are in your family.
And that type of thing. But to give you an idea for like me, what I would do is I know that I have cereal for breakfast. So I would buy milk. Some of the basics would be milk. Most people need milk for something. Most people need bread for something. Most people need eggs. Those you could do a lot with I've done a lot with just milk, bread, and eggs. If you think about what you can do for that type of thing.
So then what I would do is for the cereal, let's say you wanted a box of cereal. Instead of buying your Cheerios, which are $3.49 to $4 a box, not on sale, if it's a week where they're not on sale, I would get the generic Cheerios.
Or you could get oatmeal.
Or you could get oatmeal. Or you could get cream of wheat. And then instead of that $4 you would have spent on the Cheerios, you take that money that you saved and you stock up on something else. Okay? Start low. Yeah. So let's say you find Cheerios on sale. Like last week, they were 99 cents. You guys go to Instagram. I put my grocery deals on Instagram. It's just Living on a Dime on Instagram. And Facebook, Living on a Dime on Facebook. I put my grocery deals on there. Last week, I got like 100 boxes of cereal because it was 99 cents for the box. And then I had a coupon that the machine at the register kept spitting out that would give me $2 off of 5 boxes. So I went through and just bought a whole bunch of 5-box deals. Now, I happened to have the time that day to do it and the money to stock up. But let's say you only have $5 to stock up and you love your Cheerios. Then take that money and stock up that one time. The next time, you don't have to pay full price for your Cheerios. That's the whole point. You don't have to start huge. People see stockpiling and they think, oh, I have to go buy 15 cases of canned goods.
Each time you go, just buy a couple more extra things than normal. But then also
when it's on sale, though.
Yeah,
make sure so that when it's on sale, you have it. Yeah.
The only way I buy extras, I don't buy unless it's on sale. No. Never ever. And another thing is like you got the milk, the bread, the eggs, but then you need some fresh fruits and vegetables. So you can buy the most expensive. Buy maybe a bag of apples. That would be a lot of fruit for one, depending on the size of your family. Don't overbuy on these.
Yeah.
I would underbuy on the fresh fruits and vegetables until you see how much you're going to use, because most people overbuy. Bananas are on sale, or let's say apples are on sale, so I'm going to buy a huge amount. Now, there are ways you can preserve that stuff, and we'll go into that another thing. But for most people, they waste a lot of these fruits and vegetables because they overbuy. And especially singles, they tend to do that. Because they had peaches on sale one time, they had grapes on sale one time, and they had bananas on sale one time. I made the mistake of buying like 4 or 5 because it was such a good deal on these things. I bought me a bunch of all 3 of them. I couldn't eat it all.
Yeah.
So even though it's on sale, on fresh things like that, unless you have a way of preserving them and plan on preserving them, you need to just be very careful and buy minimum amount.
And don't forget to look, guys, in the clearance sections. My produce section has a clearance cart, I guess you would call it. And I go there and look there first. Why? Because they have the bananas and the apples and the pears and cucumbers, everything that are either slightly damaged or ripe that need to be eaten today or in the next day or two. Guys, it's perfectly good food for half the price. Mine is 50% off for the fruits and vegetables that are slightly not perfect. And so
and you can do that for meat and for the breads too.
Yeah.
Hit the clearance.
Yep.
If you're
the meat, just because it's on clearance does not mean it's bad. It means you need to use it up in the next 3 to 4 days or freeze it. It doesn't mean it's bad. It means that's the day the store has to sell it by so that it's still fresh for the consumer.
I got turnips on the clearance rack, and that I had them for almost 2 weeks in my refrigerator. Yeah. So, you know, they're not bad stuff most of the time.
Yeah, so those are a few tips, guys. We are going to leave the link in the description below for our How to Save on Groceries e-course. We also have our Dining on a Dime cookbook with over 1,200 recipes and tips you can get in the description below. And I'm leaving a link in the description below to go to our website, livingonadime.com, so that you can go read an article on this very subject. And we will see you guys next time.